It's the summer of 1988, and your mom has just rented the coolest new game for your King Bit entertainment system. Duck Season is the game of your dreams as you play as a hunter in a game with ridiculous graphics. However, as you play over the course of the day, it becomes apparent that there is something different about this game. Duck Season is a throwback to the golden era of 1980s gaming and movies with a hint of horror in a Spielberg-like universe. Relive a slice of childhood as you are transported to an eerily familiar memory and play out the dark story that unfolds over a single day and night as your imagination takes over. Unfortunately, as you binge play the game, since your mom was only able to rent it for one day, it becomes apparent that all is not right with Duck Season. How you doing, fellow geeks? GamerDad79 here, and today we are going to be looking at the VR game Duck Season.
That, sir, is an investigated fabrication. It's Wabbit season. Duck season. Wabbit season. Duck season. Wabbit season. Duck season. Wabbit season. Wabbit season. Duck season. Wabbit season. I say it's duck season, and I say fire.
In Duck Season, you play as a kid who just received a Duck Hunt style game for what is essentially a Nintendo Entertainment System. This game is filled with childhood throwbacks and at first feels like kind of like a loving tribute to the 80s. However, you soon learn that there is something much more sinister going on. Before we get started, make sure you hit the thumbs up. The thumbs ups always help. Subscribe if you are new to the channel. Hit that little notification icon so you know when I upload new videos. And if you are a fan of the channel and my content, please think about sharing. So, without further ado, let's take a look at Duck Season. Don't you two start. Created and published by developers Stress Level Zero and initially released in September of 2017, Duck Season feels like a throwback to simpler times. Your mom gets a one-day rental of Duck Season and she tells you to make the most out of it. So you settle in front of your giant 13-inch TV, pop the cartridge into your King Bit entertainment system, and lose yourself in the coolest new video game. Now, Duck Season is not a room-scale VR experience, so you can settle yourself down in your favorite chair and get comfortable while you play. Now, you can get up and move around your game area if you so choose, but you cannot move beyond it, which basically means you cannot take your character and walk around the house. If you have a small gameplay area, you can force grab items from around the room to interact with them. You can also throw items in order to interact with other things. Like, for instance, you can grab the VHS tapes that are kind of around the room and throw it towards the VHS to put the cassette in the slot. Now, once you hit start on your KES, you're transported Matrix style into the game. Now, one of the more creepy things is that you can take your avatar when you're in Duck Season, turn around and see the kid through the TV sitting in his living room. So essentially you're in the TV now. So this is like a game within a game type of scenario, right? So you're in Duck Season now. Your avatar can turn around, look out the TV and see the kid who you are also playing, mimic your movement. So when you're moving your shotgun around in Duck Season, he's moving around the little light gun that comes with the KES. It's pretty weird and kind of creepy. Now, once you start playing, it kind of feels like a modern update of the original Duck Hunt. If you guys remember that, right? If you're old as me, you remember that. Now, sometimes you gotta shoot a certain amount of ducks in a certain amount of time frame, or you have to shoot a certain amount of ducks before they escape, but it all kind of boils down to shooting some ducks. Now, if you are as old as me and you remember Duck Hunt, you do remember getting extremely frustrated whenever that dog would pop up and laugh at you because you missed some shots and you really wanted to shoot him but you couldn't. Well, now in Duck Season you can, and it's oh so satisfying. Huh? Who's behind me? Huh? I don't see anyone there. It must be your imagination. Now, after every level in duck season, an hour back in the real world passes by. While you're in your living room, you can watch your mom do things around the kitchen, you can play with your action figures, look at all the different games for your KES, grab a bite to eat, and more. There's a lot to discover, and I don't want to spoil all the different and fun things you can do. Part of the experience is actually figuring out what you can do in the game world. All in all, it seems like the typical day for a young boy on summer vacation, except soon things start to get weird. At first, it's little things, like the commercial for your favorite action figure kind of glitches out and some strange images begin playing on the screen. Or a news bulletin about several families in the local area going missing. Eventually, though, with the calm determination of a kid who just wants to play video games, you start up the next level of duck season. Now, I don't really want to get into too much about what happens in the game because it's really not that long of a game. It can last about an hour and a half to 2 hours, depending on how much time you spend kind of in between the levels of duck season. However, there are 7 different endings to duck season. Now, you have to do very specific things throughout the gameplay to unlock each of those different endings. And I don't want to go into too much spoiler territory, so I'm not going to go over all of them. I so far have completed 2 different endings, and I've looked up the different things you can do to get the other endings, but I'm not going to spoil them here in this video. What's that? What the hell? Was there something behind me? Okay. I think I might have been playing a little too much of this duck season game. I think I need to wrap this video up, don't you? Final thoughts. Duck season is Duck Hunt by way of Stranger Things. Seriously, what is happening in this game wouldn't be out of place in an episode of the Netflix show. The game lures you into a false sense of security at the beginning, and when things start to turn, it can be really freaky. Duck Season is a great VR game and exactly the kind of experiences I like to have in VR. This is something that would really only be truly effective in a VR environment. One moment you are enjoying the afternoon playing video games. The next, you're facing off against something vile and evil. While the game is short, the different endings and the way you go about achieving them do make the game replayable. Now, I do think $20 may be a bit expensive for a game that only takes that hour and a half to 2 hours to complete. I feel it should be priced somewhere around $15. However, if you're looking for a fun and creepy couple of hours in VR, you can't go wrong with Duck Season. Alright, fellow geeks, that is it for today's video. Let me know in the comments section below if you've ever played Duck Season and what you thought of it. What?